Hey guys, my name is Devontae, and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. I mean, do I really have to run through the statistics? Do I really have to run through the numbers again? There's a reason why I put it on the thumbnail. There's a reason why you see the arena side by side. There's a reason why you see the numbers for this week right there on the bottom. It's just to show you AEW fanboys like what's going on at the moment. Like, I don't know what could. The biggest misconception I think I get as far as being labeled as considered is that people like to always label me the guy who hates AEW. Oh, he's an AEW fanboy this. Oh, he hates AEW. Oh, he wants AEW to fail. No, I don't. I don't want AEW to fail. I want them to thrive. I want them to be a strong alternative. I literally think about the whole WWE WCW war, and I get fond memories and nostalgic about it, and I want you guys to experience that too. But that can't be the case if AEW keeps failing like this. And it's one thing to fail when you're trying, it's another thing to fail when you're not trying. You know what I mean? And actually I think I'm putting them over a little tiny bit when I say that AEW aren't trying their best. They're not. They're being held back by woke skulls. They're being held back by a bunch of progressives on the left that's within professional wrestling. Yes, I'm going to say it. People hate it when I say it, but that's the fucking deal. They're on the left. It's progressives who are holding back AEW for actually doing what they actually should be doing, to be getting over with the specific demographic that their advertisers want to advertise to. The 18 to 49 demographic is who they care about, right? That's their whole concern, right? Ratings and viewership numbers correlate professional wrestling throughout the years through sexiness and through actual legitimate violence. And I don't mean violence just in the ring. I mean violence through storytelling. I mean violence within the arc of the character in itself. Not fucking sissy, lame-ass cuck boys going out there in the main event scene, twirling their dicks around and pretending that they're actually doing something right now at the moment. Yes, I am going to blame the woke skulls. Yes, I will blame the progressives for that. And yes, I will see people like Tony Khan kowtow to this nonsense all the fucking time, and he can't get himself out of the bubble, and he won't do anything daring because he knows they will hold his feet to the fucking fire. You cultivated that audience, and you need to do something to get rid of that fucking audience and actually get a legitimate audience that will actually give your company not only mainstream attention from an appeal standpoint, but just make it an actual alternative to WWE. Because here's the thing. Here's the dirty little secret no one wants to talk about. WWE is in the exact same position as AEW in regards of ideology. They too are being held back by the woke skulls. Here's the difference though. They have name value. They have the professionalism behind them. They have the money behind them. They have the accolade behind them. They have the appeal behind them. So they can get away with most of this shit. Honestly, not to mention they have so many legacy acts that in reality you probably say to yourself, wait, didn't that guy yeah, here's the thing. The guy today that you see that's super over probably got over in a different manner a couple of years ago, and it's just not that. I'll give you an example. Someone like, for an example, well, he's not with the company anymore, he's with AEW, but Edge, for an example. Yeah, if Edge were to present his character as to what he has in AEW and his latest run in WWE, he wouldn't get over. He wouldn't. He was boring as shit for the most part. But because of his legacy as the rated R superstar, he has the advantage and people see him in a fonder light. That just happens to be the case. AEW doesn't have any of that. They don't. You don't even have the legacy attached to the superstars you fucking bring over for a goddamn pop, because they have to leave that gimmick and that name behind them within WWE. That's their intellectual property. So we sit back and we have to summarize, we have to theorize, what does AEW have to do? What does Tony Khan... No, fuck that, because we do that all the time. All we do is theorize what the fuck AEW and Tony Khan should be doing with their company. They know exactly what they should be doing with their company. I have to ask myself this. If you're not going to go out of your way to put yourself into a correct position to go head to head with WWE, like you should be doing, like WWE did with WCW, because that's making strides. That's actually going out of your way and saying to yourself, we are in a war. We need to pull out all within our arsenal. That's what WWE did with WCW. Let me remind you guys one more time who weren't born at the time, who haven't been keeping up with my videos. Let me remind you, if you're not really familiar with history, this is WWE in 1998. I'm gonna give you the big stars of WWE in January of 1998. You ready for this? Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is now still currently in the midst of his push to being a top guy. The Undertaker, who at this point at the Royal Rumble got taken out by Kane, so in reality, it's D-Generation X. And more particular, not even Triple H, because he's still being built up, is Shawn Michaels. That's what's going on in the company right now as far as the big name talent. When there's some other big name talent in 1998 at the time, Ken Shamrock, Rocky Maivia, which he still went, I think he went and buy The Rock. He just started going by The Rock at that point. Who else? Foley, who at that point was nowhere near as big as he would be once he gets around late 98. That's your top talent. Versus on the WCW side, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, DDP, Goldberg, who was like one of the hottest wrestlers at the moment at that point in time. Mind you, all this wrapped up the Hulk Hogan stuff within the NWO. They just got Bret Hart. Mr. Perfect is in the mid card, by the way. You have the Cruiserweight division breaking all innovative new ground. You see where I'm going with this, right? You see where I'm going with this? Sting, by the way, one of the hottest wrestlers at that point also. You literally have every fucking 80s talent and early 90s talent killing it within your company, and all WWE has to their name. For real, if you really want to be honest, considering Taker had to take a little bit of a sabbatical to kind of help promote the feud with Kane, we're talking about fucking January. Austin is red hot, don't get it twisted, but he's not quite a main eventer yet. So as far as established main event talent, it's Shawn Michaels. That's all you have. That's all you legitimately have is Shawn Michaels as an established main event talent going up against literally every fucking 80 star. And WWE still ended up beating them in the ratings about 2 or 3 months later. How did they do that? Because they thought to themselves, hey, maybe if we actually went counterculture, hey, maybe if we actually did the thing that actually put us in the fucking eye. You see, there's a reason why. There's a reason why when you see my thumbnails, I don't care what I have to do in regards to being edgy or whatever the case may be. I don't care. I don't care if I have to put fuck you in the thumbnail. I do it sometimes. I don't care if I have to curse. I don't care how much disparaging things I put in my thumbnail. I don't care how I talk about in my videos. But here's the thing. Here's the thing at the end of the day. Do I not differentiate myself because of said edginess? Because I do push the boundaries to a certain degree. Huh? There's a reason why you go to a channel right now that has over 1,300 subscribers. Mind you, ignore my past history, because even then when I had 1,300 subscribers about 3 years ago in my old Millennial Smart channel, so you can't even say it has anything to do with identity. You look at tell me how many channels had 1,300 subscribers gets well over around like what 1,500 to 2,000 views on every fucking video for the most part. You tell me. And on the low end, they get like 400, 600, 700 views. On the low end. I can tell you right now, there are channels who have 1,300 subscribers who wish they got 400 views on the high end. You know why these losers don't get anything in regards to viewership numbers on their channels or on their videos? At least within their niche, at the very least. No one is saying you have to have, 1,000 subscribers and you have to have fucking 10,000 viewers. No one is saying that. That's obviously not going to be the case. But within your niche, at the very least, you can do above and beyond. It's because they sit back on their little fucking chairs, twiddling their dumbass fingers. Let me run down the card for tonight, and let me give you this match for tonight. Well, he did a headlock, and Kazubishika Onako from Japan, he did a 450 splash through a table and thumbtacks on fire with lightning rods shooting out of his asshole, and he pinned the young lady. And the young lady kicked out and hit him with a super kick. Dave Meltzer gave it a 5 stars, but I think I would have won 5.25 stars. And next match. When you're sitting there and that's how you're fucking operating, that's your fucking content, even within the scope of professional wrestling, who the fuck wants to watch that bullshit? Who the fuck wants to watch that? And then you sit back and you wonder why you have 23 views, but you have like 500 subscribers. You have like, on a good day, 93 fucking views, but you have like 1,000 fucking subscribers. It's because you're fucking boring. It's because you're not doing anything relevant within your channel that anyone gives a shit about that no one else is fucking doing. Alright, I'm not trying to sit here and fucking put myself on a pedestal at all. But if you're gonna fucking do something, fucking do it. Take risk. Take risk. And it's like, Tony Khan doesn't want to take any risk. He doesn't. In comparison to WWE in the past, yes, WWE is safe right now because they can afford to be safe. Tony Khan cannot afford to be safe. You can't. Look at your fucking talent right now, bro. Look at the talent. You have way more talent right now in comparison to what WWE was fucking with in 1998 when they had to go up against WCW. Does WWE have more talent than AEW at the moment? Of course they do. But look at the talent that AEW currently has at the moment, and then look at the talent WWE had at the moment when they were fighting from the ground up. Not to mention, Vince was not a billionaire at the moment. Vince didn't have anybody to back him up. Vince didn't have any fucking, big time lenders or anything like that. It was just him, a private company just trying to thrive. Versus AEW, you have a fucking billionaire backing you with so many lenders, TV deals, all this stuff. They didn't have any TV deals like you see today back in 1998. Vince legitimately got over with fanfare. He took risk and he invested and reinvested and reinvested. With every risk he took, he made sure to reinvest within the company just in case anything were to happen. He can have something to always back him up, and guess what happened? 2 years later, in the year 2000, this dude is on fucking SNL. He has his wrestlers, his mid-card wrestlers. The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin were mid-card wrestlers in early 98. Make no mistake about it. And by 2000, The Rock in particular, he was fucking Rocky Maivia. Rocky Maivia. Flat top. Rocky Maivia in 1998. 2 years later, this motherfucker's on SNL. Make it make sense. 3 years later, he's in The Mummy. Make it make sense. You know how it makes sense? Because Vince knows how to fucking treat his talent. Vince knows how to promote his business. The WWE knows how to get down when the get down comes to getting down. Whereas you have Tony Khan, who wants to twiddle his fucking fingers and think what he's currently doing right now is going to help anybody within the wrestling business. Is even going to help his company in its own right. I got to ask myself, if I were a wrestler and if I were with AEW at the moment, I think I'd be fucking embarrassed. I'd be fucking embarrassed if I was MJF, for an example. By the way, that's where I got that picture from. The MJF cutting a promo in the ring last Monday. I'd be fucking, or not MJF, excuse me, Samoa Joe. I'd be fucking, or was it a promo? No. I think it was like him in the ring and then coming out. Whatever. I'd be fucking embarrassed if I'm cutting a promo in the ring and I look out into the fucking audience and I see nobody there. And I see the audience behind me, and they have to look across, and they see nobody there. And they have to look down at me, talking to that side of the camera, and I'm not talking to fucking anybody. That's embarrassing. First, I'll take your fucking L's, my guy. I can tell you, even WWE did this. When they weren't selling that many tickets, you know what they did? They downgraded. They downsized. People forget, they didn't start going into those type of arenas that you see today until like 97. 96, when they got their asses completely demolished, in early 97 even, when they were getting utterly fucking demolished, you know what they did? Wait for it. They downsized. And between 93 and 96, when they were actually being completely trashed financially, they recognized, hey man, we just don't have the clout like we used to have. We need to go into arenas where we can actually make it look at least somewhat presentable on television. Not AEW though. Not AEW. We need to go into these arenas that were fucking WWE, knowing we're not 1/10 of what the fuck that company happens to be. And again, let me say this one more time. It's not as if you can't be that. You do this to yourself. When you focus on literally everything that your markish fan base wants to focus on, and then you sit here and you have to fucking delude yourself. You have to actually tell yourself, you have to actually, in some fucking way, and I see AEW fans do this all the time. It's not just Tony Khan. It's not just AEW overall. It's like that entire fucking universe has to gaslight themselves to believe, yeah, what we're doing is currently good right now. Never mind what the ratings tell you in regards to what you were previously before that, the year, and the year before that, and the year before that. Never mind what you see with your very fucking eyes in the audience. Never mind the enthusiasm for you online outside of your bubble, which is non-existent. You literally have nothing. The best thing you have going for you right now is the rise of a Swerve Strickland. And that ain't nowhere near love. All respect to Swerve Strickland. I love him. This has nothing to do with him. That ain't enough. You killed your biggest angle with Edge and Christian already. Like, you have nothing going for you. You know what you could do? You could run an angle for a night. See how it goes. Run the same angle the following week. See how it goes. Get people invested through all that. You could take some risk. It's not just a sexual appeal. I seen some guy yesterday, a WWE fucking fanboy, telling me he was having like some debate with some other loser in the comment section talking about, oh, he just wants to see the Attitude Era content come back. No, you guys are fucking idiots. And yeah, I know we had something cordial towards the end, but I'm sorry, I gotta call you a fucking idiot. I won't say your name. You're a fucking idiot because you don't understand what I'm talking about. You do not understand the perspective. But again, I don't expect anything different from fucking tribalist WWE fag boys. I don't care. My point being is, though, they say things like, oh, you want the Attitude Era content to come back. It's dead. Grow it. You don't get it, and you will never understand it, and none of these youngsters will understand it. No one specifically asked for the Attitude Era to come back. No one is specifically looking for that specific content to come back. What we want is consistency. What we want is story. What we want is development. What we want is to sink our teeth into something. It doesn't matter if it's Attitude Era content. AEW has been doing 85% of what the fucking Attitude Era has been doing since their fucking inception, minus the women's stuff and minus some of the suggestive gimmicks. With the exception of that, they bleed more than the Attitude Era. They bleed more than the Attitude Era in one fucking night than the Attitude Era overall from just Jon Moxley by himself. The weapons are there. Okay, the violence is there to a certain degree. They're like 10 times over what the Attitude Era was fucking doing. The cursing, the swearing, all that stuff is there. The only difference is, A, it's coming from a bunch of goddamn soy boys for the most part, who you dare not take seriously in a fucking fight, trying to stick their middle fingers in front of the fucking camera. Yeah, totally. That totally works out, right? Yeah. No. You can sit here and you can cope all you want to about the product being this or being that or being the third. It all fucking sucks. AEW sucks. WWE, it doesn't suck like AEW, but trust me, they ain't too far behind neither what the fuck they've been doing lately with their talent. Nah, none of it cuts the mustard. But we're talking specifically about AEW at the moment, because here's the thing. WWE can suck in spite of its stuff and still make money. AEW, on the other end, you prided yourself on being the alternative to WWE. You prided yourself on saving us. But all you do is embarrass your own company. Your wrestlers, I guarantee you, they're embarrassed. I mean, you had Chris Jericho outright burying Tony Khan without even recognizing what he's doing. You have Britt Baker going on Twitter complaining about bullshit. You have that Santana guy, Ortiz, or whatever fucking Mexican, jump on Twitter, and he's doing this. You have Daniel Bryan finding people for... It's a shit show. You have people leaving your company left and right. It's a shit show. But be a shit show. If you're gonna be a shit show, at least have something worth showing for it. This though, all of this, if this is what you call worth showing, then hey man, keep staying stagnant. What can I say in the end of the day? You're comfortable in being a loser. Why am I going to step in and stop you from being comfortable and being a fucking loser? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you see where I'm coming from? Oh, Devontae, here you go again attacking AEW. Oh, Devontae, here you go again. You're just not... I mean, if they're fans love it, then what's really the big deal? The big deal is I want to be a fan of them. That's the big deal. The big deal is I love professional wrestling, and I want to be a fan. I'm looking for an excuse to be a fan of AEW. But if you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's not working... And I'm a professional wrestling fan, I feel like you're spitting in my face a little tiny bit. You're getting my hopes up, and you're just pushing me on the floor. You're getting my hopes up, and you're taking it away from me. If you're not going to be committed into what you're doing and calling yourself an alternative while I'm still around, then get the fuck out of here. You were better off not being known and me being happy or consistent, or at least... And I wouldn't say happy. Let me not say that. I would say you not being around and me being miserable, not knowing at the very least that there's supposed to be a savior and just conceding to it is so much better than someone being around and telling me they're going to save me while I'm still stuck, struggling, and wondering what the fuck is going on. Imagine having someone torturing you in a chair with a gun to your head and they're just beating you over and over and over again. You just want to die at that point, right? At the very least, you just know, just kill me, please. I just want to die. That's what you're saying essentially to yourself. But to know that there's somebody right there who can save you and you're still in that same position, it's physical torture and it's mental anguish. People say that's a very aggressive comparison. It may be an aggressive comparison, but for some Nimrods out there, they need the aggressive comparison. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P. Ice.